Alright. And let me just verify if this is going.
Did you send me anything?
Um, I just started. I'm just checking. Give me a sec. Alright, so we are live.
Okay.
I'm just, so I got one person. Hello. Um, I am not a streamer, so this is all new for me, but hopefully you can hear us, and hopefully you can see things. I'm gonna test a couple functions here. That should be, yep, you can see that's Killer Katie's screen, and you should also be
Hello.
able to see that pop up. Cool. Okay, so yeah, we got a couple people. I think we can officially start.
Okay, great. Do you want me to start, or would you want to start?
Yeah, I mean, we'll just do intro. I'll start. So hello everybody. Um, I am Swamp Puppy. You may have seen me around, probably in the Shadow Labrys chat, or just pinging for games in the Persona Discord. Uh, but yeah, this is a Shab Bootcamp stream. So we're gonna start, because I feel like I feel like we get a lot of questions in Shadow Labrys chat, and I feel like a lot of people kind of look at Shadow Labrys and are like, man, this character's hard to play. Like, how do you learn to play this character? How do you play neutral? How do you do things with the character? And she has a pretty steep learning curve. So my hope with this is to demystify that a bit and have like a more enduring resource that people can kind of look back at, and if they're as they get better at the character, come back and be like, okay, yeah, I knew that. I think we'll kind of we'll sprinkle in some higher level topics here and there, but the goal is to keep it beginner friendly, but also for people that know the character a bit already can maybe learn something new as well.
Right. And as Swamp Puppy said, I am Killer Kitty. I'm kind of an old head in this game. I've been playing since vanilla. I've been playing Shabrys for a couple of years now, probably closer to 10 years than anything. Uh, I feel like I'm very qualified to talk about this topic. This is Shabrys, like Swamp Puppy was saying. Shabrys is a character that is kind of difficult to play, and there isn't very much solid information out there, and especially in video format. In video format, I feel like uh, this is a good way to like have a lot of collective ideas together, so we can refer people back to this or just explain, have a good place so people can learn.
Yeah,
And yeah, this should be beginner intermediate. I will be covering some advanced things just to have the idea in your mind. I think this is a good opportunity, especially if you want to learn Shab, or if you have thoughts. If you saw the ping earlier, you have Shab as a role, then you should have some interest in playing this character. And honestly, this is a great character to learn. She's very rewarding, very brutal character when it comes down
yeah,
to it. Just like amazing character. It's so fun. She's like
yeah,
the most fun character I have.
and
I play multiple games, and this is probably my favorite character.
yeah, and I mean, in my totally
Okay,
unbiased opinion, she's got just the cool factor going for her as well.
yeah,
Um,
this is the boss character. Like if you played Vanilla, this is the original Vanilla boss, and they brought her back. That's how cool she is.
yep. Um, yeah. So
Yeah.
I guess just for the couple people that I'm seeing on, is everything sounding okay? No weird video issues, anything like that? I don't know if we can get any uh,
Yeah.
textual
Also,
confirmation.
also another thing, we do have the stream chat, so if you have any questions, please feel free to ask,
Yeah.
and we'll address them, interject while we're explaining things. This is an opportunity for you to learn, and we're here to help you. So please feel free to ask any questions.
Yep. And I'm gonna put one last. I'm gonna go ahead and just ping the Shadow Labrys roll just to say we are live. I don't know if I have permissions to
I'm
ping
looking
it.
at the stream a little bit. Is there a way you can turn up your mic a little?
Is it? Am I? I should be able to do that.
Just a little bit, because I
Yeah.
think my mic is a little higher than yours.
Okay. Give me a sec. How do I? Crap. And here's where my fiddling with ODS settings, audio, right?
Yeah. Uh, just in the meantime, like it was said earlier, we are gonna go against go over basic intermediate stuff, but I'm still gonna give you a lot of things that you could use personally to win with Shabrys. I think you need to learn what Shabrys game plan is. That's something we'll go over, and I'm gonna show you exactly how to implicate her game plan because it when it boils down to it, Shabrys is a very difficult character to learn because she's a puppet character. She's one of the two puppet characters in the game, right? And Asterius, the bull, is a character or is a mechanic that you have to teach. You have to tell Asterius when to block, and like everything in her game plan revolves around the bull. Once again, welcome in. We're just kind of like setting things up.
Yeah, I'm trying to turn my audio up a bit. Apparently I'm a little bit quiet. I just have to remember how to actually do that.
Right.
Give me a
Now take your time.
brief moment.
Everyone like we just started, so if you're joining us,
Yeah, you haven't missed anything.
you haven't missed anything. We're just setting up. So this is the first time we've tried to do anything like this.
Yeah, so this is
So,
kind of learning in progress a bit as well.
hmm Yeah, and we hope to, if this happens again or something similar, we hope to improve or like give us feedback, and we'll definitely take it. Uh,
Filters. Okay. Audio filters. Okay, I'm turning up my gain. Oh, you have the stream up, Killer Kitty?
yeah,
Is
yeah,
it any louder on my end now? Oh, wait.
that's good. That sounds good.
That's good. Okay.
Mhm.
Alright, I will roll with that.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we got 5 people. We got a couple people in chat. I guess we can. If my audio's sounding good and there's no visual issues.
Yeah,
On.
the stream looks good on my end. I'm seeing it right now.
Alright.
Looks good.
Well,
We're gonna another thing too. If you missed the stream and you're watching back this is gonna be a VOD on YouTube.
yes.
So we will definitely have that pinned in the Shab chat. So welcome if you're seeing this from in the future. I hope you're well.
Yes. Hello for the future.
You may have missed it, but this is the chance to rewatch it, review it.
Yeah.
All right. So
Yep. So, yeah. Well, let's start with just what kind of character is Shadow Labrys? And you may, again, the obvious factor being our giant friend Asterius here. She's the resident puppet character of the game, at least like in the more traditional sense.
yeah,
So,
like when you think of Persona, every character is kind of like a soft puppet character, but Shabrys is like the actual, the puppet character of the game. Her persona is completely different from everyone else's persona, right?
Yep.
And because of that, you can do a lot of really cool tricks with it. Ken is also a puppet character, but he has a dog.
Yeah, it's like half a puppet.
Yeah,
Asterius is the better puppet anyway.
definitely, yeah, yeah. Actually, Asterius can knock out the dog in 2 hits. The match is actually really solid in Shab's favor. Shab, I will say, Shab does have fairly good matchup spreads, especially into top tier characters.
Yeah.
If you want to ignore certain characters too, I'll get to that later. She's definitely the character you should pick up.
Yep. Yeah, like she's one of the few characters that can actually fight Yukari in an even matchup, which is
right.
Not a lot of characters have that privilege. So.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and she's also like because of Asterius and specifically like the guard that him sitting here guarding like this, she functions a lot as an anti-zoner in general. So like Yukiko, Yukari, any projectiles like he can just shut down.
Yeah, I'm gonna show it here. You can like
I'll switch to Killer Kitty.
you can like Narukami, like any projectiles that happen, Narukami just completely gets blocked. This does happen with supers as well. But supers like Narukami that has a lot of like pierce or projectile durability, they will go through Asterius. As where like other ones like as you can see, Shabrys blocks in here, but on other characters like the Chie's meteors, they get blocked completely. Same with Aegis missiles.
Yeah. Yep.
So.
And I guess this is a good segue because I guess so. We sort of have resident puppet character, and let's go ahead and talk about like more of the mechanics of Asterius himself.
Uh-huh.
So I'll start with a few things. So he's always on the screen, right? He's like other like you were saying, other characters, like every character in this game is kind of a soft puppet character, as Killer Kitty said. Um, but they have to press a button for their persona to come out, whereas Asterius is always there, right? So if he's just in his neutral state, you're not pressing the block button or anything. He'll just kind of follow you around, right? You walk forward, he follows you around. You walk backwards, he follows you around. But he also will teleport. So if you run forward a bunch and you outpace him, he'll teleport. Right? And it's about the distance is probably about a couple character lengths, maybe like two
I would say
character lengths, three character
I would
lengths.
say it's like 2 Asteriuses away.
Yeah, for him to teleport.
Yeah.
The other thing too is like his teleport, like for him to proc the teleport, the distance is greater if he's behind you than if he's in front of you. So he can be like up here, and he won't teleport back to you. Only if he's like really far in front of you will he actually teleport. So if I'm like way on the other side of the screen, then he'll teleport back. But this allows you to like use Asterius for like neutral pressure entirely by himself. So I could be I hit something I hit this the other night. Like I can just hear he's in front of the opponent back there, and I do that. I can do a full screen bite, and you'll actually hit things like that because
That is something to know that with Asterius, he's really good for persona displacement because being on screen the entire time, you can definitely tell him to stop at a certain place, or you could send him out using some of his buttons.
yeah.
And so he's really good for persona displacement. And when you play against Shab, you will just get hit randomly because Asterius is just doing things.
Yeah, and another really cool thing about Shab is that you can convert most hits you get. Like there are some hits you can't if they're like really weird or really far away, but I would say about 80% of the hits that you get randomly in neutral you can convert into something and get like a knockdown or just damage off of. And again, in big part just because Asterius covers so much space, all of his attacks
Yeah.
like are giant hitboxes that
I
are just
was
on the screen.
I will say, as far as Shabrys' archetype, she is a puppet character. She's also a glass cannon. This is the glass cannon of this game. She's very strong offensively, but does have the lowest health in the game.
Yeah.
So that is the puppet character slash glass cannon is how you would categorize her.
Yeah. So she blows you up really quickly, but also gets blown up really fast herself.
Yeah.
Um,
It's just the nature of the character. That's how she is.
yeah. Another important thing about Asterius is that he has armor on all of his attacks. So if I just do a quick block string on Narukami here, for example, let's have Shadow Labrys blocking. Like, if I go and start pressing buttons, if you notice, like I'm controlling the Narukami right now. Like the first, like that 5AA doesn't actually break Asterius. So the threshold, the base threshold is 400 damage to break Asterius. So if an attack is doing less than 400 damage in an individual hit, it actually won't break him. He'll just kind of absorb it, and it kind of creates some. It actually, like I've gotten comments from people where they feel like it sort of messes with the pressure a bit because it does add a bit of extra hit stop to their to their rhythm. But then if it goes over 400 damage, then like Narukami 5B will break it. And kind of a running theme with Shabrys' matchups is that characters that break the bull easier have a better time against her. And Narukami is actually one of those characters, like 5C kind of will stop Asterius in a lot of what he does. But again, if your characters like Yukiko have a really, really hard time breaking Asterius, and like Asterius by himself can just shut down things that they want to do. Do you have anything to add to that, Killer Kitty?
Yeah, I will say that the thing about when people have told me before that it does feel like you mess up a lot when you're pressuring Shab, it is because you can combo off of the bull if the bull is blocking. It's like you're hitting auto guard, and it does mess up with a lot of people's pressure.
Yeah, and
it's something that you have to like experience firsthand, and then like kind of play around it. But a lot of experienced players do block strings to make themselves safe off of Asterius.
Yeah. Yeah. Continue. Sorry.
it's similar to when you hit a persona. Like any persona, you can cancel off the persona, but with Asterius, you can cancel multiple hits.
Yeah, and something too is like a lot of cases, like let's say a someone would have otherwise like if I have Narukami here again, right, and like he just DPs, like if this wasn't Shadow Labrys, this DP is whiffing, right? Um, but because this is Narukami, or because Asterius is there, he can actually super cancel off of Asterius. So it actually creates like in a way like Asterius is both a blessing and a curse,
Hmm.
because sometimes like he'll just do something and you'll do a bunch of damage off of it, and you're like, oh sweet, thanks Asterius. But other times like they'll cancel off you'll cancel their DP off of Asterius when they otherwise wouldn't have been able to, and you weren't expecting it, and you'll get hit. So or like
Yeah.
also the big thing too is like especially in, like the Labrys matchup, breaking Asterius increases the active frames of attacks, and so it makes it to where you will get hit by something you might have not gotten hit by otherwise,
Uh
which
huh.
can also be annoying.
Uh huh. It's something that when you're playing as Shab, you will learn. You will learn a lot that it happens, and because this happens more on your end, a lot of times it's better for you because you're expecting it, but your opponent is not. Because Shab is a very rare character, and she is very difficult, and there aren't that many Shabs to be honest. Uh, there aren't that
There's
many Shabs, so like if your opponent doesn't have the matchup experience and knows about the canceling off the bull, it's often gonna go in your favor because you know about it, but your opponent isn't as versed in such situations.
right, um, yeah, and on like the kind of rarity of seeing Shadow Labrys, she's also the kind of character that if you don't know the matchup, like as we were saying earlier, like, she's a glass cannon. She'll like you'll have literally I've had 15-second rounds. Like
Yeah,
you will kill people so quickly if they don't know what to do against her.
yeah. Shabrys is a character that does absurd damage. It's mostly Asterius. Asterius, all the, most of Asterius hits do like they're like getting hit with a super basically.
Yeah. Like yeah, Fatal like you know
Even on counter hit, like moves like 2C and 5C are really high like minimum damage just for a
yeah,
single hit.
right.
And especially because a lot of times these moves just hit you out of nowhere. Uh, I think we'll
Yeah.
get to the moves more later, but yeah,
Um.
the Asterius moves are like really hard to deal with.
Yeah. And yeah, as
It's
Kitty
very
was saying.
it, it's very punishing to get hit by Asterius.
Yep. Yeah, and so, like one fatal counter Asterius move is like the same damage as entire B&Bs and other combos and other characters combos. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I guess let's talk about like what does Shabrys want to do? Like what is her general game plan? What is her goal in a match?
Yeah. It's important to understand the flow of what Shab does. Very strong character. I think something that is like, it is well known that Shabrys has pretty solid corner carry.
Mhm.
The main thing that you want to do is you want to try to get a move and like, work your opponent to the corner where her Oki is completely devastating. This is probably the most devastating Oki in the game, you would think.
Yeah, I would
Uh,
say like in general, any combo you do with Shadow Levers. I mean, this goes for any character, right? But especially on Shabrys, like any combo you do, you want it to end in a hard knockdown that leads into some sort of offensive situation that your opponent has to deal with. Um,
mhm.
so
Yeah,
and it
and
can be mid screen or the corner. Like,
yeah, Shab has a lot of like really good mid-screen options. A lot of them have really good corner carry. That's something that, we've like learned as this character evolves is that pushing your opponent to the corner is what you want to do. Of course, she can kill you mid-screen, and it's just that the nature of the way the persona works, it's kind of like you're using persona displacement while side swapping your opponent. So you kind of want to mix your opponent mid screen. You kind of want to make it hard for them to predict what you're doing. And Asterius actually blows up a lot of game mechanics, defensive game mechanics. So
yeah,
even even if you're sitting neutral mid screen, Asterius has really good buttons to control space.
Hmm.
So getting hits is pretty not easy, but like it happens a lot. It
Yeah.
happens to where you can get hits, you can convert them into, corner carry, or you can convert them into mid-screen knockdowns, which are still pretty scary. This character does a lot
Yeah.
offensively.
And I think the controlling space is a big part. Like her neutral in general, I would say like it revolves around you, like because he's pretty dominant in neutral in a lot of cases, so you can dictate the pace of neutral based on what Asterius is doing, or even just again him sitting there guarding, in the middle
Yeah,
of the screen, like creates like like extra mental stack for the opponent to think of.
yeah.
Um,
Your opponent has to respect the bull. It has to, acknowledge the bull, or else the
yeah.
bull will destroy your opponent.
And really importantly, on
It's
top of that too, is like also like working in tandem with Asterius. So like you're not, like, against especially against like in Narukami here, like you want to cover his attacks as well, and she has tools to do that.
right. Asterius, that is true. Like you work in tandem with Asterius. Shabrys doesn't have the best buttons, but a lot of them are with, they're covered by Asterius. So like some moves, you end in sweep, and then the bull will cover you or something.
Yeah,
This is considered unsafe, but if you were to like, have the bull protect you, then it becomes an actual block string
yeah. Oh, and
where
quick note, Killer
where like
Kitty.
this would be like followed up by something a little, less favorable.
Yeah. A quick note, just to make it a little more fluid here, if you're gonna demonstrate something, if you can just try to remember to like just be like, oh, I'm gonna demonstrate this thing that you were just doing, so I can swap, just
Okay.
so I can swap to your screen when I know to swap to your screen.
Okay, okay. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
But your screen was up there, so they saw that. But yeah.
Mhm.
Let's see. Yeah. Well, I would say let's go ahead and start getting into like the move breakdown. Um,
Sure.
So
Yeah.
let's start with some of her. Like we're just gonna start with her normals,
Hmm.
and we'll go into like
Yeah,
the
let's just work down
specials.
the list.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Okay, let's start off with the most basic thing you do. Unless you
yeah.
want to go over the. Yeah, yeah. Let's start off
Uh,
with like the most basic moves.
yeah. Let's just start with 5A, right? And that's something
Okay.
blocking everything here.
Uh-huh.
So
Uh-huh.
5A. Let me pull up my notes here just to make sure I've got everything in head.
So
Okay. But 5A
5A.
is.
Go
You
ahead.
want to go?
No, no, go ahead.
Okay. Like 5A is like your staple pressure starter, right? Like it's jump cancelable, which is big because you can try to like you can do mixed pressure with it, or if you're trying to bait something, you can like up back bait a DP or something. But you'll be starting a lot of your strings with this. You'll be starting a lot of your B&B combos with this. Um, like a key, like that being this being a key starter. 5A, 5B plus C sweep. That's a key starter for her. Um, and it also does have a decently high vertical hitbox. So if the opponent is jumping, you can pick up in the air. Um, yeah. Do you have anything to add about that?
Hmm. 5A is massive. 5A is 7 frames, which is a little slower by Persona standards, but it is massive. The slower buttons are usually like really big, and Shabrys is no exception. Her 5A is really big. It hits at ranges that a lot of characters probably couldn't, like you're like decent character length away. It has really good gatlings. It gatlings into itself, 5A, 5AA, like like so, and then you can also delay that as well,
Hmm.
which probably leads into our second one, 5AA,
Yeah.
which
Or
is just part of our auto combo.
yeah. And actually, you mentioned Gatlings. We should also mention that because it also Gatlings into 5B
Yeah,
and
uh,
2B as well, and Sweep.
I think 5B is actually 5B is actually something. Just to touch back on 5A, 5A 2B is something I've been using a lot. Just kind of like as a a frame trap type of pressure deal, because like a lot of people expect you to go into something, and if you mix up your pressure, it does a lot of work. I've
Hmm.
noticed. Uh,
Yeah.
2B is a lot slower, and we'll get to it, but it is like something you can gatling into from 5A. You can also like just disengage from your opponent if you really feel like something like you want to like bait out a DP or just make them whiff completely. Uh,
Right.
the main another thing I'll do on the side. Another thing that 5A since it is jump cancelable, you can cross up your opponent if you do the box jump, and usually lead into pretty good mix up just off of 5A.
Yeah, that's a really good point as well.
It's also used as a really cool mix up tool that we'll get into later, where you have Asterius with the mix up, and you can use the jump cancelable move of 5A to like dash towards your opponent so they get a side swap. It's a really good button. It's yeah.
Yeah, cool. And again, just emphasize to common Gatlings being 5A, 5B, 5A, 2B, 5A directly in the sweep, and then just 5A, 5AA.
Mhm.
And then,
Let's talk about her auto combo a little bit, because
yeah,
5AA and 5AAA are pretty good. Um, yeah, switch back to my screen, and you can see
yep,
like
you're on your screen.
5A, like 5B, like her auto combo just looks like this with the super cancel and TV punch. Uh, but 5A, the second hit of 5A can be delayed. So this is normal speed, and this is like a delayed speed. This is really good for frame trapping. But speaking of, Shabrys frame trap is actually the auto combo itself. Going like this, you usually do this to like restart pressure. But if you continue the pressure, this acts as a frame trap. The third hit of the 5A auto combo is actually a pretty solid frame trap. You can cancel it into a couple things.
Yeah,
Cancel to short hop. You can cancel to sweep.
sweep is big.
Yeah, sweep is really good if you want to like continue pressure with Asterius. You could
Yeah,
do a lot of things. It's a very free flowing like auto combo. It's the old auto combo from vanilla, so she still keeps it. But it does lead into a lot of things, and comboing off of your opponent can sometimes mash out of this. Like they will try to like mash 5A. Let me see if I can record it. So I don't know if I did that right, but no, I didn't do it right.
you have to press the recording button, right? Yeah.
Yeah, they'll try to mash out, and if you were to do like the 5A or just like continue on, it acts as a frame trap, and you can get a
Yep.
counter hit and a full combo off of it. It's really good. A lot of people aren't too familiar with it, but like if you condition your opponent to stop pressing here, you can restart your pressure to get extended strings. Her auto combo is very good.
Yeah, and if they respect it and they block the whole sequence, then you just
Mhm.
continue pressure with the 5C to cover it.
You could also, this is something that that Shabrys does have. You could also just block in this situation. Just do 5A, nothing.
Yeah.
And why would we want to do that? The reason we would want to do that is because of this. People like to DP,
Yeah.
right? People will mash DP like it's going out of style. And we can punish them for that. We don't have to give your opponent, like if your opponent is mashing, we need to condition them to stop. That's basically
Especially,
that's what Shabrys' auto combo does.
yeah, and especially like if you're, you know, if you're at beginner levels, like it's gonna be more common that you're gonna find people mashing DP in your string. Um,
Hmm.
and so if they show it once or twice, you can pick up on that, and as Kelly Kay just said, just punish them for that. Um,
Uh-huh. It really depends what your opponent is doing. If your opponent likes to mash, we have answers to that. We have the solution. We could teach your opponent that it's not okay, that if they do this, they will eat a punish, and taking hits, unnecessary hits against anyone in Persona is really bad.
yeah, yeah.
So,
And that's pretty
uh,
much the auto combo. I think you covered most of the auto combo there.
one thing I do want to mention about the auto combo is that there is a bit of a mix-up. It's not really like the most safe thing you could do, but like after the third hit, we could either do sweep, but if you finish the auto combo, it is an overhead.
Yeah.
Some people do struggle with that. If they're getting hit by overheads, that's just them.
Hmm.
But we can make it safe with Asterius. If you're using Asterius during the auto combo, which you really should be,
Yes.
you can make a lot of things safe.
Yep.
And it also goes the same, I think, with sweep.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yep.
know, Yeah, so you should be using Asterius even in the most basic of things.
Yeah, and in general, I mean, we'll focus block strings as well, but like this like 5A, or like, set the dummy to blocking, but starting a string with like 5AA into 5C, and then like continuing Shadow Labrys like Shab Gatlings is like a staple pressure for her. So you might do
Right.
something, like this, and you get, like that's kind of like staple pressure. Like 5C is like
Hmm.
combining it with her normals is huge.
Okay. Yeah. So that's her auto combo. Her auto combo
Yeah.
is pretty good.
Yeah.
And now let's talk about her like I guess her B buttons. B
Uh,
buttons also really
let's
good.
talk about 2A actually. If you want to do
Two
2A?
A, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Two
I
A
would
just like
do.
a really good neutral poke. It's the same speed as 5A. So
Yeah.
but
Seven
it has
frames.
less.
7 frames.
7 frames. It has less Gatlings. Is the main thing. You would
Mhm.
mostly Gatling this into 5B.
Yeah. It's also not.
Uh,
You also can't jump cancel it. It does. You can kind of set up tick throws off of it too, though.
mhm, that is true. And something though that a lot of characters can like mash 5A or 2A. Shabrys cannot. So Shabrys can't do the same thing Labrys can. Cannot do like the same like Narukami, like where you
Yeah.
mash multiple times. So it's just like a single,
Yeah. It's a standalone
and
hit.
it usually gatlings into like other B moves, or
Mhm.
you like
Yeah.
restart your pressure the same way as you would in 5A. It's not the best, but it is a decent low poke, and it's their fastest low poke.
Yeah.
So, and
Yeah.
this is like what you would use for like empty low, or like you know, just getting. It has some use, but it's not the best.
Mhm.
But it does have its use case.
Yeah. I feel like there's something I want to add there. It'll come to me. But yeah. Yeah. Oh, actually, something worth noting on counter hit. I'll go ahead and switch to my screen for this. It actually it combos into itself. Like, sometimes if like you're like, sometimes you'll in neutral, like, you might get in those awkward situations where like you both kind of do a stare down and neutral in front of each other. If you get a counter hit, it actually combos into itself. If I can do it, there you go. And you can get a short combo. You won't be able to do like as full length a combo as you might do with a normal hit, like with a non-repeated 2A or something. This is also big in the corner because like I would, if you're trying to, because again her fastest normals are 5A and 2A. I have 7 frames, so she's not the best at like Abare. But if you do get a mash, like you can get out of the corner with this kind of thing. Or this is just to showcase some stuff. You can do fun stuff like this. I messed it up, but you can do a corner steal off of it as well. So so
Yeah,
counter hit does get you a little bit of stuff off of it.
yeah. Shab is a very free-flowing character in my opinion. She gets a lot of like really cool stuff too. Her combo's just amazing to look at.
Oh yeah, it's like the wackiest stuff that you can do. This
Yeah.
is. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Yeah, it's a corner steal that I came up with, but again, for sneak peeks. Um, yeah, let's talk about sweep. Want to do sweep?
All right. So yeah, sure. The Shabrys sweep is actually really good. It is actually a very solid combo starter.
Yeah,
You would use this in like one of her kill combos.
yeah. I would put it as like a
Where
top 3 starter for damage.
yeah, it's surprisingly really good. It's really good for her burst. Like burst combos are really good for her.
Mm-hmm.
It is a very long ranging normal, so you would hit like pretty far, and it's used in like some of her mix-ups too. During her Oki situation, you would use sweep, and if you spend the meter, you can get a full combo.
Mm-hmm.
It's overall pretty solid button.
Yeah.
You would cancel. The only thing that with most sweeps in this game is that you don't really have the best cancel option, the best Gatling option. So you would normally Gatling this into Chain Knuckle as just like a safe pressure tool.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and of course, you can have Asterius to follow up to make it a
Yeah,
lot more safe.
and you can try
So
to throw in like a two like an A guillotine 214A as well if you want to just
mhm,
try getting an overhit hit. But that is
yeah,
vulnerable to DPs if you do that as well.
yeah, it is. Yeah, it's really good low. It's just her furthest reaching low. Really good.
Yeah.
Great combo starter. Not the best, not your first choice, but definitely if you get a sweep, just a random sweep, and if you can confirm it, you can get really solid damage. And her combos do pretty good. Yeah, sweep is pretty good starter.
Yeah, yeah. I would say it's a, yeah, top 3 for damage.
Yeah.
Like sweep is you can if you do it like when you have the right extensions, you can pretty especially if you're in the corner, you can get 4K off a sweep easily. Um,
Hmm.
it's a good start. Even mid screen, and from mid screen if you get it with like sweep into SB Knuckle, like if I demonstrate, if you can get a lot of corner carry, um, this kind of thing. I think I hit a little high. Nope, yeah, I hit a little high, but there we go. Ah, I got a little lag spike, but you get a lot of corner carry um, off
Yeah.
of it as well. I'm dropping the combo, but um, well, again, this is the more so still the move section, so I'm not focusing the combos as much for now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
cool. Let's do B buttons. We'll do B buttons.
Okay. Yeah. You want to start off with 5B?
Yeah. Let me switch back to my screen. Yeah, 5B. This is kind of her main mid-range poke. This is I would say this is a pretty big part of her neutral. Is like getting space 5Bs. So like this starter, like in particular, like 5B, C into sweep, like that is a common starter I'll get a lot. And again, you get the corner carry, and it's really big damage to get this. Like just pretty simple combo and boom 4K. So it's not jump cancelable. So you can't jump it. It Gatlings into sweep, Gatlings into 2B, and that's pretty much it for Gatlings, and then you can cancel it into her other specials. And now usually a big thing with 5B is like if you're doing, so say like a common pressure string for her is 5A, 5B, like 5AA, 5B. Usually like, yeah, at this point like you're gonna have a gap because this is gapless. 5AA, 5B is gapless. After the 5B, you'll have a gap, and so this is like where you're gonna kind of want to take note of like, okay, what are they doing here? Are they mashing DP? Are they trying to jump? Are they trying to mash? And you'll and then you start to like adjust accordingly. Because 5B into sweep has a gap, 5B into 2B has a gap. Yeah. I'll start with that. Do you want to add anything?
Yeah. It's just a button that really good. Neutral poke. You're never upset getting this. Like if you just get like a random hit, it always leads into solid damage. Combo filler. Yeah, I think you covered it very well.
Yeah. Anything else? Oh, I guess just as far as the neutral use, you do have to be careful with whiffing it, because it does have quite a bit of whiff recovery, especially if you get jumped in on. If you're in the middle of 5B, you're gonna get hit, so you just have to be careful with if they're jumping at you, IEDing at you, or if you just space it poorly. Like I've had lots of times where you're like, I'm just out of range, and then I get poked, I get counter poked. So
Yeah,
you have to be
that
careful
does
with
happen. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's basically 5B.
Yeah. Also, a really cool button, just general. Just like a big like axe swipe at you.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I'll also add, this is actually relevant for later combos. It does have a decent aerial hitbox. It actually can, like, there are situations where it will actually, like, if someone is IEDing at you, it's like they press a slower button, they press a button late or something, you will, like, just knock them away like this. And they kind of reset back to neutral. But in the corner, you can do, like, 5A into 2B, which is a big corner combo tool.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of 2B, let's go into 2B. Do you want to start?
Sure. You want to switch to my screen?
Yep. I'm on your
2B,
screen.
2B is a great button. Probably one of Shabrys' best buttons. I say Shabrys' best buttons as I consider her separate from Asterius. And 2B is her anti-air. It's really solid anti-air. It used to fatal. And they took that
Yeah,
away,
yeah, I remember that.
yeah. So as you can see, Narukami's blocking everything while jumping. It is a really good anti-air. It leads into a lot of her. It's a very staple in her combos, but something that 2B can be used in block string. It is kind of like a committal button, but like if you want to like mix it up with your opponent,
Yeah. And
she has block strings that you could add 2B in there, and 2B is really good. It gatlings into sweep,
yeah, and it's
and
gapless Gatling into sweep as
yeah,
well.
yeah, it's really good. You like condition your opponent to like just add things. You can frame trap it. You can delay it too, and it's actually really good blowing up the grab OS. Off knockdown, your opponent will likely do like jump back grab, and with Shabrys, I think I did it too fast, but with Shabrys you can definitely like kill your opponent for it.
Hmm.
As often you get counter hits.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, 2B is Shab's best starter. Like Shab, instead of outside of Asterius buttons,
Hmm.
2B is Shabrys's best combo starter button.
Yeah.
I will say
Yeah.
this.
There's.
Yeah, this is the button you press when you want to punish your opponent.
Yeah. It's just
You
slower
know,
though, so you have to make sure you have the time to. But if it's something
yeah.
like a whiff DP, like you'll probably have the time to.
Even on block, you get really
Yeah.
solid, damage.
Yeah. And also like I've if you go check the pins in Shab Chat, you'll see like there's a like for with supers and stuff. Like if you happen to get it to be a fatal starter, you can get like you can get 5k with the super off of a
Mhm.
fatal 2v. And like I actually get that like not super uncommonly, like more often
Yeah.
than you would expect. But
Just
yeah.
another thing. Just another thing too. As far as anti-airs go, this is a really good anti-air button.
Hmm. It is a
It is
little
it is
slow, is the thing. Um,
something I will point out. Like the way I have Narukami set up, the block strun is actually extended with Asterius holding 5D. So you do have a little bit more time to like confirm. And
mhm.
the head invuln on this button is really good. It is just a great anti-air button. And this is also one of Shabrys's best starters. So
Mhm.
if you can confirm, if you're good enough, you can confirm into her big damage combos.
Mhm. You can also confirm it into a lot of corner carry. I'm gonna switch back to my screen for a sec. Um,
Okay.
like a combo I've been hitting a lot recently. Like it's let me like just try to get in the right position just to show how much corner carry you get. Let's do do from here is like this. Ah, my dash didn't come out. It's like we're talking eventually. Like my fingers aren't quite warmed up, but
Right. Yeah. 2B definitely does lead into
there
like
you
really
go.
good corner.
Yeah, like that. Like see, I went nearly corner. It's like 80% of the screen. If you do a 5C to combo it, I think it will. But
Yeah. 2B is definitely Shabrys's best normal button. Uh, outside of Asterius, of course.
as far as damage
2B,
goes, yeah.
yeah. 2B is just massive. It has a lot of utility. It's definitely a really good button. You want to be mashing this button a lot,
Yeah. Eh.
especially like on anti-airs. One thing I will say though, it is not the safest on whip. On recovery,
Yeah.
if you're yeah, I will correct myself there. If your
Yeah.
opponent does decide to like double jump it, you can
Especially
you,
Narukami, like Narukami J2B, like we'll catch that a lot.
yeah, it's
uh,
not the safest button on whiff. But if you are trying to anti your opponent and you have the timing down and the spacing, it's a really good button just to throw out. Just to anti-air. It's not the best neutral button. I will say that.
yeah. And as far as anti-airing, like you, because it is a slower button. I think it's a 17 frame startup. If you want to double check me on that. Um,
Mhm.
like you do have to be a little bit preemptive with it, depending on like that, And there are certain characters that you can't really 2B, like Adachi JC. Like you can kind of 2B it occasionally, but usually you can't. Um,
Yeah, that's just a massive
so
button. Like
yeah,
that beats out most anti-airs. So.
yeah, that's true. Um, but yeah, so just be mindful that it is slow, but it is a big hit if you do hit it.
Mhm.
Um, all right, let's talk about. Let's see, I think we've done all the standing normals, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do jump attacks.
Okay.
Let's do JA.
Okay. I'll do JA. You do JB.
Sure.
JA I think is still like an okay option. A lot of times you would use it just to like keep your your opponent blocking. You know, if you're like in this situation, you want to like lock your opponent down, stop them from jumping. It's just a quick button. There's not really too much I would say about it. Although I will say the angle that it hits at is like, at a downward angle, and this gives JA a lot of really good uses. For one, you can do the fuzzy with it. It's kind of difficult, but like,
Yeah.
you would like hit lower and do rising JA. I think with JA, you saw it earlier, you could do like a box jump, and the angle will allow you to get a good, a good mix into like some extended pressure with Asterius. The angle at it is pretty good. Like, you can like also Gatling into like it has very low. I mean, you can Gatling into JB,
JB or J2B. Yeah.
yeah, or J2B,
And that's a common, like that's a go-to overhead
yeah.
mix-up.
This one is gapless. This one has small. The other one has small gaps, but
Yeah.
it's also, they each have their own use cases.
Yeah. JA into J2B is gapless. JA into JB has a gap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and it's actually like in certain matchups, I actually like Adachi. Like it's a decent air to air. It's actually like slower than it visually looks. It's a 9-frame startup. I'll switch back to my screen for a sec. But something I like to do a lot with JA, like if I'm, like if I'm thinking they're gonna jump, like if you press JA and you buffer JB behind it, you'll actually get a combo. Like it'll kind of like do a combo for you. So they're blocking, but let's turn the blocking off. Yeah, like if I think they're gonna jump, I'll do something like that a lot. Just press JB behind it, and it'll combo by itself, and you can get a nice bit of damage off of that. And then on counter hit, usually I'll pick up with like a 5A if I get a counter hit. Something like, yeah, I didn't mean to do hammer there, but something like that on counter hit. So good hits on a counter hit. It's a good button. Like overall, it's a good button. Definitely, I feel like when I watch beginner Shabs play, I feel like they could be using this more than they do. But also, like certain buttons, like certain matchups, like since it is slower, you'll lose to things like Yukari JA, Narukami button, like Narukami JA2B, the faster air, like the faster top tier aerial buttons, you'll still lose to. But it is a good button overall. And also, which we'll talk about later, it's like it catches. You'll use it to catch jumps and turn around like that, which is going to be key for the bite setup, which again we'll get there. But yeah, cool. And then I guess I'll just go into JB. That should be everything for JA. So JB, it's pretty much the same as Labrys JB. I think, is it the same frame data? I think it's the same frame data as Labrys JB. Giant disjointed hitbox hits from a mile away. It's, as far as like air to air purposes, I guess for me at least, I don't often get like just raw starters like this say on it. Like I'm not usually fishing for that kind of thing, but if I'm like, a big use case for JB is like, say you set up a laser with Asterius and you want to cover the air, because when you do this, so you have the laser out, I have my screen, and like you have the big space above the laser that oftentimes people will try to like jump over the laser and like air stall, and like you can use JP to contest that space because of how large it is.
Right. It kind of acts like a stop sign, kind of just like a big note. Right?
Yeah.
Like it does occupy a lot of space, and it's just massive. So
Yeah.
It's especially if your opponent is jumping a lot, you want to just like mash JB to like try to control airspace. Say like, no, don't come this, you just can't come in here. It's massive. It's our biggest air-to-air button. And another thing I'll say, it is used in one of our Oki setups as timing.
Yes.
So you would use rising JB as a timing mechanism.
Yeah, and to demonstrate that briefly, like so, because you like the corner setup will look something. I'll just do like symbol. So like right there, so that JB, it's a frame kill, and it makes the timing Like you can do it without, right? Like this is the air dash, but it makes the timing of the air dash a lot easier to do, or you just land and do a low.
Yeah, another reason you would use that is like it's also kind of like a visual thing. Like if you do that and you know your opponent knows that this person is doing the whip j.B for timing, so they're most likely going for an air dash. Instead, you go for sweep. You do j.B sweep for the low
Yeah,
option.
and you can also do like if you can also change it to where you're doing a forward jump, a 9 jump, and do land 2A. Because I've come to like sweep is a bit more reactable, I feel like, than 2A sometimes.
It
So
it is. I will say sweep is the more rewarding option,
it is,
but
yes.
definitely J 2A landing 2A is a good option too.
Yeah. So yeah, sometimes like I've noticed like some people like are good at blocking like empty jump sweep, but like I'll catch them with an empty jump 2A, like mixing up a bit. So,
Right.
but yeah. And then I guess the other thing with it, if you're in corner combos, I guess we'll just go into j.BB. It has the follow up, right? So
Right. Yeah.
you're not gonna really use it mid screen, but if you're in the corner, like like I'll sometimes see like people learning Shab, like they'll do like they'll do like the B&B, but then like they'll still do like they won't do j.BB in the corner. So I'm like, if you are here and you hit this combo, like do
Yeah.
j.BB. Like
Yeah, j.B just only adds damage. It's
yeah,
the bigger button. Yeah, 5A. I mean, JA kind of kills your proration damage, so just use
I
j.B.B.
think I think actually Paration wise, I think JA and JB might be the same Paration wise actually. I can double
I
check
always
that.
feel like well, I mean, a lot of the more damaging combos come from j.B.B.
Yeah, it's just that JB has
Yeah,
like the higher hit stun and damage.
yeah.
But
So a lot
Paration
of
wise
times
they're
you.
actually the same, I think.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you definitely want to do j.B.B. corner only. It's really just combo filler, but it's a lot better for corner. Right.
Yeah.
It
And
is it is distinctively different from j.2b,
yeah,
which
yeah.
J2B, it is a great button. If you switch over to my screen,
Yeah.
um, it is it is faster than JB. So J2B also kind of like acts like a safe jump. You can
Mhm.
kind of like backdash off of it a little bit. It's really good. It's really good on like if you want to jump behind your opponent. Uh, it's a great button. It also wall bounces on hit, even on non-counter hit. So
Mhm.
I'll show this real quick. You can get a really nice combo too. Oops, I kind of flubbed the combo a little bit, but you get really good corner carry, you get really good combo off of it. It's a really good button just to throw out, if your opponent is just like jumping. And a lot of times I've been doing this on round start too, where I've been doing 8C.
Yeah,
If your opponent,
yeah. Mhm.
yeah, if your opponent dashes in, it's kind of like another like big stop sign. It blows back to your opponent. So I think if you're like in the corner, you won't
Yeah,
get the
yeah.
you
Sometimes it
won't get the
will.
wall bounce.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but like if you're like a little closer, it depends on screen positioning,
Right.
but like you will get the invisible wall bounce coming out. Uh, it's also it's also a Gatling button, so you
Mhm.
can Gatling it from JA. It is distinctly different than doing like oops. It's different from doing this. And another
Mhm.
thing too, J2B is an overhead, unlike J2B.
Or yeah, JBB. Yeah.
Yeah, oh sorry, yeah, J2B.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little confusing, but like this is actual overhead where j.BB is not,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be really hard to like get that because JB is an overhead, obviously. J2B is not. It dual bounces, really good combo starter, and on counter hit you actually get fairly solid damage from it as well.
Mhm.
So I just put this. It's a slightly different route, but you can do run up 2B and get a
Mhm.
better combo.
And actually, like on that, I'm gonna switch back to my screen for a sec here. Like the
Okay.
counter hit, like something I'll hit. I'll get this kind of scenario a lot where like if I do 5 AA and like I could go for a throw, right? But if I want to throw bait, you can do 5 AA, fake the throw, jump back J2B. and that will get you that counter hit, and then you can
Yeah.
go and do like if you do 2B as a follow up, and you get more damage off of that.
Yeah, it's a very good throw bait button, but it's also can act as a safe jump as well. Like
Hmm.
if you want to like space it to where your opponent will like most likely DP, just depending on how your opponent plays, you could use it as a safe jump option and punch them with like a different option.
Yeah.
And and versus some characters, it is a better punish starter than 2B. The reason is because a lot of characters have DPs that will put them airborne and they can super cancel once they hit the ground. Examples are Mitsuru and Ken is a big one
Hmm.
where their DP will send them in the air and they're vulnerable there, but they're not vulnerable when they hit the ground.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Also, I
so
got a
it is very yeah.
or I just got a stream comment from Sneaker Ninja. Glad you're here. Um, doing good. Hopefully anyone that's here is. Hopefully this is being helpful. I feel like we're spending a lot of time on the moves, but we will get the combos, I promise, and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. Um,
Yeah. If you
okay.
need to take if you need to take breaks, this is gonna be a long one. And
Yeah.
but yeah, we are kind of like going over basically everything.
Yeah. Yeah. And then just I guess the last thing, Killer Kitty mentioned it earlier, but J2B is distinct from j.BB. As far as combos go, like the same move duration for J2B is really high.
I'll
So
be
you
I'll be right
generally
back.
okay, yeah, sure. So you generally don't want more than one. Like a common, like to demonstrate this, like if I take like so the common corner laser setup. If you get the J2B starter, so like let me do a J2B here. Okay, see it actually drops, right? Because the same move duration is like not great. So that combo will drop if you have the extra J2B. Um, so in that case, since there is already a J2B in the combo, I'm gonna omit the J2B in this block string and just do, or in the combo and just do j.BB. So that's really important to keep in mind. There are certain cases where you'll want two J2Bs in a combo. The prominent one I'll get is like if I get a sweep starter like this, I get a little bit of lag, and I get the corner, I can do a 2C extension, and like that is a gain if I don't do, I got 3.5k there, if I don't do the 2C extension, right? Like that is a gain even with the extra J2B. So there are certain, but those are a little bit more niche. Usually, just starting out, usually you're gonna want just one in a combo, unless you
Uh,
specifically know what you're doing with it.
all right, I'm back. You can
Welcome
switch to
back.
your screen.
Oh,
Switch to your
dang! I was on your screen the whole time. Crap.
Yeah.
Oh well. Yeah, but yeah. Hopefully verbally that made sense. But dang. Well, let's go ahead and move on. I guess we can talk about so that should be all the normals.
Mhm.
I guess let's then go into let's talk about Asterius normals then, because we did all the Shad normals, and this is gonna
Okay.
be
Yeah.
big. I think this is this. There's. I'll start with 5C. Um, so 5C. So it's a like I've said we were saying before. It's a key pressure tool. So like 5A, 5B, 5C. Like this is a common pressure starter. Um, and just a general note, like when it comes to Asterius normals, um, like Asterius like has a cancel, like the same way like Shadow Labrys can cancel, right? And I think this is personas in general, but Shadow Labrys can get normal into special. Like Asterius is the same way. Like he can get normal, and if they block it, he can cancel into a special, or even a super, right? You can go into Titano or whatever. So that's really important to keep in mind, because that's actually a really big part of her neutral game. Is like, you press 2C, and oh, you got a block. Let me cancel it into hammer, and like, and combine with that with a Shab attack. So that's a really important thing to keep in mind. So the structure goes like, if they block it, they block a normal, you can cancel into a special, and if they block a special, you can still cancel into a super. So that's really important to keep in mind, and like that also applies like for a while. Something I didn't realize, like or like wasn't thinking about is like 8C, right? if they block, like, if they even like one hit of 8C, like, you can go ahead and just cancel it. I did the cancel late, but like, if they block one hit of 8C, you can go cancel no laser, right? Or whatever, or hammer, or even bite. Like, you can do so. You just knowing that you can string together on block his normals and super and his specials and supers like that is a big part of like Asterius usage. So that's kind of a side thing. But going back to 5C in particular, so this is like the source of a lot of her corner carry. You've probably seen this combo, right? The sweep Gatling into 5C, and then you would do like an air dash j.BB. So it's a big part of her corner carry. In the corner, it wall bounces anywhere really. It wall bounces mid screen and in the corner. And you can in the corner you'll pick up with like 2B, say. Yeah, and then if you want to say anything.
Yeah, it's I will say 5C is ridiculous because 5C was nerfed in this current version where it used to have more corner carry. So
Oh yeah.
That's the main thing they nerfed. They nerfed the original corner carry where it used to just be like absurd. It used to be a sliding hit. I will say the only thing that in here 5C is her knockdown. Like you would use this you would use this button as her main Oki tool.
Yeah.
Most of the times.
Definitely an important note. Yeah. Like usually
it's another thing, this fatal counters.
Yes.
Like a lot of Asterius buttons are really good because they will fatal counter.
Yeah. 5C, 2C, and Buffalo Hammer are her fatal starters. Outside
and then
special conditions.
You don't really get 2B or 5C as a fatal as much, but some of the other buttons are just like absurd when it comes to fatal. But
you'll hit
if you confirm, you'll get it every once in a while.
Yeah.
And it's never bad to get a fatal, a fatal 5C kit because it's like 2,000 damage raw. And if you can confirm it too, you get really big damage off of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about 2C. Probably the best button in Shab's kit. This move is ridiculous for a normal, for a persona normal that just doesn't do this. This move was also nerfed in this version of the patch, where once you send Asterius down, what happens is your opponent can hit Shabrys, and when she's put into block stun, the 2C will stop. They nerfed that, but not really, because it still happens. And I don't know, I'm positive it was like some type of oversight, but it still happens the same way. So 2C is without a doubt the best button in Shab's kit. It is massive, and the thing about it is that it hides Asterius, and he will fixate on your position. So if you're an Arakami and you like run forward, this is something that does happen. I will do 8C, and it will locate Narakami's current the position that he's at the time.
Yeah, it does have yep.
So it does have its it does have its use case, especially off of knockdown. Off of knockdown, it's really good.
Yeah,
you can cross up,
and you can set up a meaty with it in the corner as well.
Yeah, and then it is such a great button. It comes out specifically, and one of the big things about this move is that it fatals too.
It's actually like her best starter. Like a fatal 2C is her best starter.
Yeah, in her whole kit, this is the best starter she has. It also does 2.4 just raw, and the thing about it too is that your opponent isn't able to tech until they hit the ground. So that makes this combo really good, or this makes this button really good for combos. Because you can get easy combos into like big damage. That was just 3 hits, and I was already 3.4k.
Yeah.
This button is like it's not a good DP punish button, but it is a great fatal counter button.
Yeah, and just in for neutral purposes, like at higher as you get like to playing stronger opponents, like there is counterplay to 2C. Like particularly if it whiffs, it leaves Asterius really vulnerable. But like as far as a neutral tool, like it will even in the situations where the person knows what to do against it, it forces them to do that, right? Like it forces them to take some sort of evasive or defensive maneuver against it, and you can, play around that. Uh, so it's, and otherwise they're just blocking it, and you're getting the pressure. And another general note about a series of attacks, they have a ton of block stun. Um, so like,
That is true. Yeah.
yeah, like if you get a neutral,
Uh,
2C blocked, you can kind of get in, like or catch him in pre-jump if they try jumping out, but you have so much time to like move in or you know can't really kind of do what you want in that time because they're just gonna be in block stun for a really long time.
another thing about 2C is that you can cancel into specials, obviously, and you can cancel into persona specials, and you can get really good mix-ups off of you know using 2C. It can be used kind of like a Oki tool meaty, but you also use it as a combo tool.
Yeah, yeah, and it's
It's
actually
great.
and for
It's a great button.
combos, it like you'll a common like it's an extender. Um, so like say 2B, like you want to like if you can extend with 2C, it's usually preferable to do that because it just is a lot of damage as well, um,
Hmm.
added to the combo, and then usually you can get into a 5C ender from it.
Yeah, usually uses it. You'll use it as a combo extension tool
Hmm.
as well, but
Yeah,
it's really good if you're able to get it like that.
yeah. Cool. And let's talk about then 8C.
AC, another great button. I
Yeah.
don't know if Asterius has bad buttons. That's
Yeah.
the main thing.
uh,
Asterius is kind of crazy.
yeah.
8C is a great button. Um, the thing about it that I know a lot of people will struggle with is that 8C is like a button that you kind of have to have Shab jumping for it. You don't have to, because what you can do is you can whip 5A or 5A and block stun to keep Shab on the ground,
Hmm.
or like just any button that will keep her standing
Yeah.
will whiff into 8C. You can even do this on backdash. Just like anything, even a throw. This is a way to like. That was kind of hard. Okay. I don't know if throw is a good, but like any
Yeah.
button really, just like you can whip and go
JA.
8C.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything that
Yeah.
covers like the jump animation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then another thing too, even on round start, doing something like sweep 8C will be something that will like cover your opponent jumping at you. So sweep is kind of risky, but if your
Yeah.
opponent wants to jump, they have to deal with 8C.
Yeah. 5B8C is a similar concept and is
Yeah,
also like a good neutral kind of setup.
like on round start,
Yeah.
they had to like deal with 8C being there.
Another like a really something I'll add about 8C, like sometimes you'll get it like in the corner, like because if they block it in the air, um, like they're kind of there for a while, right? So you can set up like you kind of set up a little bit of a mix up off of it, or in the corner something like that'll happen a lot. Um, is like if they block 8C, let's see. Yeah, I just have him jumping, but if they block 8C standing in the corner, and you just wait for them to land, and you do like that will catch a lot of people. Um, but yeah, so really good tool. And then as far as like it kind of also like it is an anti-air, right? Like so, in certain matchups, like this is really important. Like Adachi comes to mind. Like kind of preempt, like you have to be, because it has a bit of a slow startup, right? So like if it's say Adachi, he can kill Asterius before it actually comes out. But if the hitbox is out there, like you're covering like that entire airspace is basically off limits, or they have to air stall or something around it. So for jumpy opponents or just matchups where like the opponent wants to use air buttons, Adachi, Yukari come to mind. Like 8C is really really good.
There is also another thing that 8C can sometimes hit opponents that are standing. Sometimes but this only happens against tall characters, where a character like Narukami can throw a button. I don't remember which one it was, but like a button will like slightly
uh,
increase their hitbox or their hurtbox,
huh.
and they will get hit by AC. standing.
I've actually never seen that happen.
I've had it happen a couple times. Usually like Narukami, Margaret, your really tall characters, they will just get hit by 8C. And it does catch you out of jump startup you know, if you're just trying to jump. One really good mix I like because I like to touch on the multi-hitting aspects of this move, where what you could do. Your opponent is jumping and caught jump startup. Actually, can't I just? I didn't think about that. I could just do that. Like if your opponent is like at the correct height when they block the 8C, which is like kind of high, you can actually cross under them right there. And like when the move ends, and they fall down, you can cross back under them, kind of like a cross under mix.
Yeah.
It has to be a certain height. It's really cool when it happens. They get out of block stun, they get hit on the other side. It's a very unique mix-up. It's really cool. It's very effective.
Yeah.
8C is pivotal in certain matchups.
Yeah.
A lot of characters that like to jump. Aegis is like the main one that comes to mind, where her Orgia doesn't let her jump or doesn't let her run normally, so she has to approach through the air, and that's where 8C really shines. 8C is a good button to kind of deny that space.
Yeah.
Think Yosuke, think Aegis,
Yep.
characters that just want to like approach you in the air.
Yeah.
You can cancel off. You can cancel off of this into like Buffalo Hammer. You can cancel into Laser. I think you have to wait for a couple hits.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, like towards the end of it. Yeah. There's. We'll talk about the SB Hammer secret cheat bug.
Yeah, but 8C is a great button. It denies a lot of space. That's what you want.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
it kind of like forces your opponent to play grounded in certain matchups. It's really good.
Yep. Yeah. And that's actually his only 3 specials. It's just 2C, 5C, 8C. So the rest is now gonna be.
Oh, actually, there is one that just to
than
touch on really quick. Just to touch on really quick. 5D. It is not. Your.
Oh yeah.
We've already talked about it. We've already talked about it, so I won't go too in detail. But like this one just blocks projectiles.
Yeah.
It's it's pivotal to like learn how to use this effectively, because one of the big problems that I see a lot of Shabrys players have is that holding 5D is different from pressing 5D. The main difference is that when we're holding 5D, this is also your grab button. So CD is your grab button, and if you're holding 5D, this makes you vulnerable to grab. That's why you have to know when to tech.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really important. Usually for defensive purposes, like you want to get like you want to it's a little weird because like if you get knocked down, like let's say I have Narukami do something, like if I have if I do like something like this, and then I'm pressuring some more, like you have to kind of get used to that Asterius actually goes away for a little bit. Let's play that. See, I'm blocking. I got hit. Okay, and like Asterius like took a second to come up. So you have to figure out the timing. Like you can either just hold D and it's fine, but if you're worried about the throw, like you gotta look for the timing of like Asterius coming back up, and then just tap it once, right? So that takes a bit of getting used to, but that's something to keep in mind about tapping versus holding.
That's all of Asterius' normal buttons. All really good. All have their own unique use case, but all very solid buttons.
Yeah. And then I guess we're going to specials now. So I would say because I think we're like already past an hour, so I guess we can try to wrap up the moveset so we can go into some combos and stuff. But again, I think in this too we are kind of talking about use cases and combos and whatnot. So it's sort of like is mixing it and things, but
there's a lot to talk about. Let's start with
let's do Buffalo.
Which one do you want
Buffalo Hammer.
Okay, so Buffalo Hammer, really good button, massive button, and this button actually changes Asterius. So normally Asterius has 400 points of health or 400 armor, just standing there. But whenever you do Buffalo Hammer, he actually gets an extra 200 damage.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I think actually, if you Narukami 5B is a good example of that, because I think 5B, like if yeah, like on the base, like 400 damage, 5B will break him, but if he's in Buffalo Hammer, 5B won't break it.
all right,
If you wanted,
let me get that.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah,
like, so he
so
breaks the bull. Oh, because you had the block, but
yeah.
yeah. All right, here. Let
Or
me.
actually,
I'll
you know
switch
what?
to.
You know what I could do? I could just do this.
There you go. Yep, there you go. Yeah,
Yep.
like that. So yeah, it gives.
So,
So yeah, I
but
get that extra armor. Does come in handy.
mhm. And if your opponent is trying to, if they throw out a move that normally breaks Asterius and they're not ready for Buffalo Hammer, they can get fataled.
Yeah.
So this is another one of fatal. This is another one of Asterius's fatal buttons,
Mhm.
and you can convert it pretty easily into 4K damage
Yeah.
with great corner carry. It's another great uh, Shab starter. Uh, a big thing about this character, she has a lot of good starters.
Yeah. Like when
Uh,
you play her when you start to understand her combo structure, like pretty consistently, most hits are gonna do 3K or more.
yeah. Normal hammer is just like the quickest version of it. Um, the D version goes further. It's a little slower, but does more damage. And they're really not safe. They are safe on block for Shab, but as far as Asterius, it has a really long cooldown. So he does take some time before you can use another move. That's the same with both of them. SB really stands out as a really good button. It hits twice. It covers a great amount of screen, and there is something about this character. This character does have a glitch. We call it the glitch.
The SB hammer bug.
Yes, there's a bug. Well, really a feature at this point where even if you have no meter, so if I were to try to do it, it just comes out normal. But if you if you cancel any of Asterius' normals into it, you can get the SB hammer.
Yeah, you have to do it
And
like immediately as soon as you can.
mhm,
But yeah.
this happens on all of Asterius moves too.
Yeah, any of there
This
is
is
normal. It's
yeah, it is free neutral. It's been in the game since the game came out. Uh, it was kind of nerfed as everything gets nerfed on Asterius, but it's still there and it's really good.
yeah. So
I will say, this button is like really stupid. It comes out very fast for what it is, and if you hit it, it does the same amount of damage as the D version. The glitch is there. Use the glitch on round start as much as you can, and if you just don't have meter.
yeah, yeah, and also like as a general note, for Asterius, like any Asterius special, like the SB versions, I'm gonna switch to my screen here. Like they're defensive options. They are actually a big part of Shab defense. So like SB hammer, you have like that same Narukami dummy, right? Like if I do SB hammer in the corner, he's attacking me. Um, well, he's attacking me. Like boom, he gets fataled, and I get a combo.
Yeah, I think the SB version actually has armor like past 600, right?
Oh yeah, so for SB bull attacks, they are completely invulnerable to everything except supers. And also Shab can block while they're coming out, and like the attack will still happen. So like SB hammer, SB laser, something I've actually been hitting a lot recently is even like defensive SB bite. So like if I'm holding, I'm down backing the corner, um, like if they back off for a sec thinking I'm gonna DP, like literally I just been doing that, and I've actually been catching people with that a lot. So yeah, SB moves like they have to, like they can super to kill it, but then that's still a win for you because they've spent more resources.
Yeah,
Or
20,
they just have to
like
try to dodge it, or throw
they,
you.
they, they spend like 25 meters to break, or they spend 50 meter to break your 25, or in some cases your 0 meter move, right?
Yeah. Yeah, if you're doing the bug. Um,
So
but yeah, like they are
yeah,
defensive options. Like keep that in mind. If you're in the corner, you want to play defensive. Like an SB move can cover your back like that. Um,
okay, yeah. Buffalo Hammer really good. Laser also really good. Laser is the 236 move. The C version comes out very fast. It lasts a lot shorter. The D version has a lot more use cases.
yeah.
It's a little longer to charge, but it has a lot more hits.
Hmm. Yeah, it's much more
And the
active.
a big thing about this move is the column that it creates. It creates a big column, and if you, as Shab, run into the column, you're kind of hidden.
Mm-hmm.
So if your opponent ends in the column, you're like right next to them. They're in block stun.
Yeah,
You could throw
it's
it out overhead. You could throw it out low.
yeah, it
Uh,
conceals Shad.
Something I will say, like this, I think if you are like mixing up your opponent, um, this is something really cool. Like let's say you do this. Sometimes the laser will actually push your opponent out. It'll push your opponent like away from the column. The column will knock up your opponent, and a lot of times what you want to do is you kind of like want to walk your opponent back into the column.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I for,
that. I think like let's table that because that's like a more for like a usually in a post 5C situation,
yeah,
like in the Oki
yeah,
situation.
yeah, that's true.
But yeah, like for Oki purposes, and we'll get to it. Like the distance that the opponent lands away from a 5C ender for mid screen, does affect like the way the laser hits. And
Yeah. Laser is very complex. It does have a lot of use cases. The SB, is armored, so that's your main use case of it.
yeah,
But there is unfortunately no glitch for this button. So
yeah. And about SB laser, SB laser is the same exact like it's literally the same move as D laser. It's just the armor is literally the only difference.
well, the another difference is that it has the C laser startup.
No, it's the D laser. Like it's the frame data is
Oh,
the
is
same
it?
as D. Yeah, it's D laser startup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Um,
Okay.
yeah, it's just the armor is the only difference between SB and D laser.
Okay.
Yep.
What next?
I guess
Series has like two more specials that I think we can talk
yeah. Let's do. I guess. Let's do air throw first, and then we'll talk about
Mhm.
bite, like normal, ground bite. Just
Okay.
because bite's gonna be this whole kind of thing. I
Yeah.
feel like, but.
Oh, definitely. So, yeah, Asterius has this anti-air bite. It's mostly used in combo tool, but it
Mhm.
can be used in like kind of cheeky resets. If your
Cheeky
opponent is
resets. It can
yeah,
also
if
be a call out tool. If your opponent is jumping a lot, like in neutral, you can actually just throw it out there and get a hit with it. But yeah, like I would like for learning purposes, you're not really going to be using it too much probably. Um, but I guess something I'll show. I'm going to switch to my screen. Like so, the C version, right?
wait, yeah,
Oh, do you want me to go back to your screen?
no, I'm just like delayed on the stream. That's why.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. So yeah, the C version, like, also mind you, he doesn't have like I don't think he doesn't get any increased armor during this or anything. So keep that in mind. But the C version just goes kind of like only a little bit in front of him. The D version goes about half screen probably, and then the SB version goes nearly full screen. But the SB version, I think it goes actually about the same as the D version. But the SB version is funny because if you ever happen to hit SB air grab, you are literally guaranteed the corner from anywhere on the screen. And I'm going to demonstrate this. So if I hit SB air grab, say I'm back against the corner. If I hit SB air grab, you just literally start running forward, and this will manipulate the screen, jump, air turn, or you have the air turn, but like boom, and now they're in the corner. So yeah, like sometimes it's worth, and again, certain matchup, Yukari comes to mind where like she likes to be in the air a lot. Like if you want to try calling out with SB air grab, like you're getting a big combo and the corner. So it can be worth like gambling on it sometimes if you're feeling spicy. But yeah,
Mostly just combo tool, honestly.
yeah.
Combo tool or just like a big call out.
There is like also the funny ender. Pick up Rachel. Wait, like yeah, you'll sound like it's like kind of memey, but like not really. Like you can do this, like and like if you've like like you can also like be really funny. This is just me like kind of goofing around here, but if I take myself out of awakening, let's put myself to 45%, I think. Like you can combo into them, and you can just like I can just get into awakening and just mash DP. Yeah, It didn't put me in. Okay, maybe a little bit less, but you get the idea. Oh, because I have
think it.
my
I think
I have it on
yeah,
regen.
your health
That's
is
what.
regen
Yeah,
already.
that's what it was. Yeah, but yeah, you can do
You're
like
you're
silly
actually gaining
stuff.
health.
Yeah.
You're actually slightly gaining health.
But yeah, and just there you go. Get into awakening. So you can do silly stuff like that with air grab. But again, that's more kind of like niche. Okay, and let's do the bite, the infamous bite.
Yes. Like the definitely. I think this could like use its own video, honestly.
Yeah,
But yeah,
let's try to keep it like a little bit short, but
it's hard because there's so many things about this.
there's a lot. Yeah, I kind of touched on like I showed the one case of SB, but I'll just start. So okay, so the ground bite, the massive slaughter. This is like kind of what Shab is known for, right? This thing. Um, so completely unblockable on the ground. You have to jump to avoid it, or really important to note. Like, well, let's start with just the version. So C version is faster startup, kind of more modest range. The D version is a slow startup, but it actually goes really, really far. Like it hits from like I've tested. It's like 2/3 of the screen that it hits. It's really far. So probably about here, right there. That will hit. Yeah.
It'll also catch backdashes.
Yeah. Like yeah. As far as like the counterplay on bite, like if they're delay teching, D bite will catch backdash and delay tech. And then SB bite is actually the fastest. I think SB bite is actually the fastest Asterius move period, like of all his normals and specials.
Yeah.
And then it has the armor as well. And it also they all grant their own status, right? C bite is poison. So the poison I think is about an extra 500 damage with the poison ticks. So the total damage is almost 3k off of just the bite. And then the D bite gives you mute. Really nasty for like denying burst, or for certain like characters like Elizabeth, or if you're playing a Shab mirror, right? And then C bite or SB bite gives fear, and I feel like people sometimes don't realize that she has fear as an option, but she does, and you can do like the strike throw fear stuff with that.
It's not a very common thing that you see Shabs go for.
Yeah, but it is a thing, and it does have you can be fancy with it. Something too about bite, like, how much you want to go into it right now, or do you want to save it for like its own kind of section for now?
It could be used as its own section. But this is like the last move that we have, like the Asterius normal or special.
Yeah, because then we have the supers to talk about. The supers.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we'll
We'll just talk about that later, because honestly, the bite setup is very complex.
Yeah. But yeah, so yeah, basically the main things are C version is modest speed, modest range, poison. For basic bite setups, you'll be starting with the C version. D version, larger range, calls out, backdash or delay text. You get mute. And SB, if you're starting out, I wouldn't worry too much about SB for now. But it's fastest, fear, and it's got its own use cases.
Just know it's there.
Yeah.
It's there. You'll eventually use it. You'll love it. It's an amazing button.
Yep.
It's very funny when your opponent tries to pressure you, and you're they just get hit by a armored bite.
Yeah. Or like you can roll, and if I've hit that in the corner a lot, like you get you do like a guard cancel roll, and it gets a bite out, and bites behind them.
There's another thing that does happen, is that you could do SB bite off of your DP.
Yes.
Yeah, if you do that, you kind of like make it safe.
Yeah.
Not safe, but like like you kind of like give your opponent a scare.
Yeah. And to do that, like if I switch back, if you're because you'll be blocking, right? So you're trying to DP. Like just when you DP, do 6 CD. Or I got D bite, but just do a quick 6 CD after your DP, and you'll get the SB bite. So yeah, that's also a really good trick to know. But yeah,
it prevents your opponent from being too greedy.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and move into the supers. Round out the move list finally, and like anything associated with them. Let's just start with TV Punch. So TV Punch, she's got 3 versions. You have C punch, it comes out the fastest, but it has long recovery. So if you happen to whiff or if they block it, you're very unsafe. You will get punished. D punch is a slower startup, a little bit more damage. Let me actually just show the damage here. Like here's the raw damage, right? 2400 for a C punch. D punch is 26. At minimum damage, it's a 60 damage difference between C and D punch. So it's 720 for C punch at minimum damage, 780 for D punch. The SB punch is the same damage as D punch. It has the startup of C punch, so it's faster, and it also has more range. So like if I use it from back here, like here's C punch, it doesn't hit, right? But if I do SB punch from back here, it actually will hit. So SB punch has Asterius move forward a lot, and that's actually important to take note of in the corner.
The hitbox on SB punch is actually massive.
Yeah,
it also hits like this TV punch in general just has a box, so it hits left and right.
Yeah.
So SB punch will hit at like the most random times.
So like if I'm like here, like, you know, that will hit. So it's about, you can think of it as a circle. Like if you take the like his fist, and I go hide this. If you like draw a circle around the fist, and then you like extend the radius of the circle by about 2 times, like just like double the size of the circle, like 2.5 or so times. It's a really big circle around the fist, essentially, that it hits. So yeah, but this is, you know, a stock combo ender, and you know, if you're trying to kill. But a really important note, so all of like, so a general thing about like, so since we're kind of towards the end of our moves, like when it comes to Shadow Labrys' combo structure, like you're usually gonna get 2 to 3 bull moves per combo, like when you're like ideally, and usually like if you get that third one will be to like knock down, right? So you'll do like, let's do it from mid screen. So if I do like this, so there's 1. And then, so I got 2 here, right? So that's 2 bull moves, and then a third, and I set up Oki. Or I can do, I'll just keep it simple here. Like if I do, that's 1 bull move. Why'd I get Knuckle? 2 bull moves, and then 3, that serves as the knockdown. But SB punch is actually the same, like, it's, because it has really fast, the other thing that's really important about it is that it has really fast recovery. So it's actually like, it's an extender. Like just in the same way 5C is an extender, or 2C is an extender, SB punch is just a combo extender. So like sometimes you might see something like this. If I do like you might see that, and then you can go and extend after it. Something like that, right? So this is like really useful to keep in mind. So like if you ever get like a weird hit and you have the meter and you're like, wait, what do I do? Like you can just kind of send SB punch and extend the combo that way.
Also something about SB punch is that the hitbox is so massive, you can actually combo off of DP with that.
Oh yeah.
I believe that's like 1 of 2 buttons that you can combo off of DP.
Yeah, if you do, yeah, if you get a counter hit DP, say, you can do that. And like, yeah.
So, but yeah, TV punch, you know, just great ender, combo extender. Pretty good.
Yeah. And then one more important note, like if you start a combo with SB punch, if you happen, because like sometimes, I guess like just in general for the TV punches, right? Like this goes back to Asterius' displacement. Like if you're ever in a situation, like, you know, like let me have Narukami, like, you know, let's just say let's have him do like 5C, 2C. Let's do, right. Like let's say he really wants to break bull, and he does something like that. You can actually like neutral snipe people with Asterius. So let me put him away. Play, yeah. So yeah, like, oh, you're pressing buttons, get punched, you know, and like you can neutral snipe people with the punches. So that's a useful trick. And if you happen to start with an SB punch as a starter, it's a it's a little bit worse than starting with a throw. Is the way I think about it. It's slightly with duration, so you can kind of think of it as like a throw starter and do a short combo afterwards. But yeah, that's TV Punch. Anything you want to add, Killer Kitty?
No, I think that's it.
Yeah, cool. All right, let's do the big one.
Well, yeah. TV Punch is her only non-awakening super.
Ah,
I guess
yes.
that's
Yeah, good to know. Yes, only non-awakening super. Yes.
And then she has 2 awakening supers.
Yeah.
Which one are we going to talk about first?
Let's do the big one
Yes.
because I feel like we get lots of questions about Titanomachia.
Oh yes, the best
Yeah.
super in the game, hands
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Probably like if not the best, probably like top 3 or if not top 1
Yeah.
supers in this game is this button Titanomachia. It is absurd.
Yeah.
It is, and it has always been a really good button. The counterplay to this is absurd.
Yeah.
So what is it?
Okay, I'll
What is
switch
it?
over
There
to
are-
you.
Wait, is it?
Yeah, it should be on your screen, right?
When I say no.
I'm seeing it on my end.
Oh, okay, I see now. So what is it? I must be like really late on the stream then.
Oh yeah.
So what is it? It is this. You input the super, and you have a few seconds to input up to 3 moves. So when you do it, this is like the normal one. Asterius will perform the moves, and if you could see, Asterius does a Titano version of every move. So these moves have different startups, they have different properties, and they also like are fixed. So there is no difference between C and D laser. There is no difference between C and D Buffalo Hammer.
Yep.
But they do have the different properties. This one, 5C normally does a ground bounce or a wall bounce, where 5C during Titano does a slide. And the reason for that is so that you can combo off of these things. So like if it combos into itself, and
Yeah, like that
While
sequence
this-
right there is like the go-to 5C, 2C,
Yeah.
2 and 4C.
yeah, it's like the most common thing that you'll see. One thing about it is that once Shabrys inputs this, Asterius also gets full armor. So the
Yeah.
only way to break him is by trading the meter with his super. And for Narukami,
Yeah, Zio dying usually.
yeah, usually Zeodyne, but that's still trading meter. So
Yeah.
another thing, this move goes on cooldown once you use it after the super flash.
Yeah, that's the little bar at the bottom. Yeah.
Mhm. So there is a
Yeah.
cooldown. It used to not have it and just proved to be too strong. This after you finish inputting, you have this finisher. So it's Titano. Titano will do the 3 moves, and then you have what's known as the finisher, which is this Black Flame, which is a full screen move. So this hits on the top of the screen. It hits everywhere, and getting hit raw by this is like getting hit by like 4K. Or
I
counter
I
hit.
think normal hit is 3K, counter hit is 3.3.
Yeah. It is very punishing just to get hit by it. Is it?
Yeah, 3K normal hit, I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
3K raw.
And then on counter hit, you get hit by this. You get hit by this. Like either way, you really don't want to get hit by this this finisher.
Yeah.
It is full screen.
Yeah, 3.3.
Yeah, 3.6.
Oh, 3.6. Okay, wow.
And then another thing that I will say is that when this move is active, you can input anything you want. So you don't have to input the standard. You could just input laser into something else. You can also input the command throws.
Yeah, another important thing to note too is that you can't do repeated inputs. So you can't do like 2 5Cs, you can't do 2 8Cs or whatever. Like it has to be unique inputs.
I will say about this too is that Shab is independent from Asterius during this action. So
I lost Killer Kitty's audio. Let me message him.
sorry, my mic
Oh.
cut off. Hello.
Okay, yeah, I can hear you now.
Sorry about that. I was saying that Shab acts independently from Asterius half the time, so you could mix up your opponent while this is happening. So, like, as you're independent, you could jump around your opponent, kind of like pass through them. You don't really have to that is another thing about this move. It is very low committal if you want it to be. If you want Asterius to do your bidding, you can basically tell him, uh, activate him, and just tell him like, go. I'm gonna go over here, chill out, just go. So it is a very low committal move. It is extremely hard to burst, and there are three versions like this move because it's so low committal. It is very difficult to burst out of this option because Shab doesn't have to interact with you at all
Yeah.
at all. There are three different versions of this move. You can see the one that I've been doing is the C version of this move, but the D version is different as there is no difference between the C and D version startup, but the main difference is that Asterius during the D version will go behind the opponent. And this is where a lot of mix-up shenanigans happen. The other version is the SB version, which has a lot shorter startup for Shabrys. You can actually use this in block stun, like I was showing before. You can do like a lot of shenanigans where you
Yeah.
just set up in your opponent's face. It's a really cool thing to throw out in neutral. That's another thing. There's very little time where this is not a good option. If you're getting hit, let's say your opponent's hitting you, and oh, let's say your opponent's hitting you. Blue
Burst.
burst into Titano is a
Yeah.
very common thing. There's like very little time that you actually don't want to be using this move, and also you can combo into this move.
Yeah.
You,
Yeah.
you can combo into the super. So if you want that extra damage, there are a bunch of ways to combo into the super. It is an absurd super. It is the best super in the game.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, I would say like just top three for sure.
Yeah. Another important note too. Question that I get. I switch back to my screen. Like people will oftentimes be confused. Like, what does SB Titano do? Killer Kitty was kind of showcasing it there a little bit, but something to keep in mind is like there is a delay in like Shab being able to move from the Titano activation. So like when I'm trying to jump, like there's a bit of delay. So you know if you're trying to activate a neutral, like if someone's close to you, you might still get hit, right? If they're too close to you, 'cause there's that delay. But what SB does is it increases the time that you have, like it increases the freeze time that you have to input the attacks. And it also makes Shab recover faster after the freeze ends. And so this actually, it opens up new combo routes that you wouldn't be able to normally do otherwise. So like a common one is if you do like from an, this is kind of, like this is a common one. I dropped it, but like 214B into SP Titano. Like that only works with SP Titano unless you have like a crazy fatal. Um, so yeah, so that's the difference between SP Titano for people that might be wondering about that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. It forces your opponent to take up an option. They could trade the meter, obviously. Uh, the original counterplay to it is to actually put yourself into the corner to avoid left-right mix-ups, which is kind of absurd to think about.
Yeah.
Or the other one is to play aggressive. And a lot of people, when you see this move come out, your opponent will try to like run at you, right? They think they could hit you because there are some ways to stop this move. One of them is by hitting Shabrys herself. Uh, Another one is trading the super, the meter back, and a third one is to try to throw tech Shabrys. So
Yeah.
if Shabrys has to tech a throw, even if she successfully techs it, it will cancel the move because it acts as Asterius being hit.
Yeah.
Asterius Asterius is 100% active during this move, so hitting Shab will cost you a Persona card.
Yeah.
It is kind of sort of how strong this move is.
Yeah. I think that should mostly cover Titano. I realized we didn't do Shab specials, but we can just finish up these supers real quick.
Okay,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I guess we can talk about brutal impact then real quick. Which you know, often you'll see it paired with Titano. Um, so you have two version or three versions. Right? A version is faster, um, does least damage. B version is slower, more damage, and then SB version is the most damage but also the slowest. And they all have different like firing timings. So, but you usually will use these in Titano combos is where you most see them. So if I do something like this, for example, like this is like this. So this is a B brutal impact, and this is like the common timing you'll see for combo and B brutal impact. Or you can do like after a 5C ender in the corner. You can do a brutal impact, and then you can actually that's where you can do an air grab. So you can actually combo brutal impacts. So you can do, for example, let's just do I'm doing a combo. You connect with air throw here, and then you can. So that was ABI into BBI. So you can actually combo them that way. And then SB has its own firing time. If I do, let's do this. I'm gonna link this way. I'm meant to jump. I'm getting a hammer. I want to see. There we go. And I forgot to cancel the Titano. There we go. And then I'm supposed to cancel it immediately, but point being, SBBI has its own firing time that is different than the other two. Let me actually do it for real this time. Okay. I'm dropping the combo, but you get the idea. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Talking and playing at the same time. There you go. Yeah, they have their own firing times. So, I guess you can look back at the footage if like, you're watching the VOD later, but with, like, I'll just do the Titano sequence. With B Brutal Impact, you're going to want to release it right when the opponent, like right here, like this is when you want to release it, when the opponent is at the ground level with Shabrys basically, to fire B Brutal Impact. If you're doing like the similar comments I did earlier for SB Brutal Impact, I would do this again. I didn't get the, oh, there we go. You're going to want to release SB right there. So when they're in the air and they're like, see how he's parallel basically with the ground. That's where you want to release SB Brutal, and then you'll get Shab. You'll know because Shab Super Flash will go off, and then Asterius Super Flash will go off, and they'll combo together, and you should get it to where the SB Brutal Impact is hitting just after the projectile of the screen wide finisher. And then A Brutal Impact you can kind of just use like, it's the most versatile. It's like if you get this, you can run up, wait, and you can just do it here. I did it a hair late, but you can just do it there and it'll hit. So A Brutal Impact has some flexibility that way. There we go. You can do that. It does also, like, if you're really desperate, like, you're trying to, like, very limited, I would not generally recommend this, but if you throw it out every once in a while, you can use it as a reversal. Because something about Shab is that she can't really wake up super the way other characters can, because especially if she's not an awakening, right? Because if she gets knocked down, yeah, like Asterius doesn't come up immediately, right? So, if I try like wake up TV punch, like Asterius isn't ready. But if you want to do a wake up brutal impact, you can, if they're in the middle of pressing a button or something, you can occasionally catch people, but the thing is, it's got a slower startup. They can just react, they can roll, they can counter super, or just jump or whatever, and you'll get punished really hard. So don't just like throw it out there willy nilly, but it can get you some mileage.
Another thing to say, This is not very. This doesn't happen often. This is actually Shabrys' fatal recovery move.
Yeah.
So if you whiff it and your opponent knows about it, you will get fataled.
Yeah.
This is
So
our only one, which is pretty solid anyway when you think about it, because this only really happens during Awakening, and it's very uncommon to see.
yeah. So I got Night Wolf in the chat. Hi, Night Wolf. We're doing some Shab stuff. Um, yeah, and that's basically Brutal Impact. Yeah, and then I guess I realized we skipped over Shab specials earlier. Just that would just be like the guillotines and knuckles if you want to do those.
hmm yeah, SP Chain Knuckle new move. Really just kind of just acts like a hit,
Let me
but
switch to yours.
uh
Yeah, you're
uh
good.
okay. So Chain Knuckle really just acts like a kind of like a projectile. Uh, the A version is very short range, comes out kind of quick. The B version is your longer range poke. And this is okay for like, when your opponent is trying to zone you at a certain area. You want to have like Asterius, with 5D to protect you from projectiles while you're trying to like, just give a love tap. It doesn't do that much damage, and it's considerably weaker than Labrys' Chain Knuckle. It has kind of the same recovery, which is the problem. If you whiff this button, it takes a long time to recover.
Yeah, it's really bad to whiff.
Uh-huh. SB Chain Knuckle is kind of like it's a good poke, and it wall bounces, so it's a good combo tool.
And in
It even wall bounces
particular,
mid screen. Yeah.
yeah, and in particular, like you'll be using SB Knuckle a lot in cases where Asterius isn't available to like do a 5C or other extender. Um, so like a really common, I'm gonna switch back to my screen for a
hmm
sec. Like a really common example is if you do like, let's say you get this knockdown from like a Buffalo Hammer. Let's just say you get a hit. Actually, he is ready there. Um, but if Asterius isn't ready, you can just combo it from there, and it'll buy time for Asterius to recover and then finish a combo.
One last thing I'd like to point out is that the SB version is projectile invuln.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It's doesn't come out that often, but when it does, like it is projectile invuln, so you could just use it to hit your opponent. A lot of times you would be using it against Liz, Yukiko, stuff like that.
Adachi 5D is a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm
Um, yeah. Yeah, that's also a good note. Yeah. But yeah, the A knuckle, A knuckle gets used in pressure a decent bit. I would say it's kind of like a soft pressure reset.
Uh-huh.
And it does have some combo utility. Like if I switch back to um, like a low mix-up you can do is, like say you're doing like the laser. Let's do disable the block switching. So I should say like laser, right? You can actually do like this and use A knuckle to launch into the air a bit. There's an alternate version of that with DP. The DP version does do a little bit more, but I usually just do A knuckle there. Yeah, so it has some use there. You can combo it like from sweep into TV punch. You can get a combo from here. Yeah, like you can do a 204B to follow.
Yeah, it can be used as a combo filler too.
Yeah, like that's
Well,
actually like,
block.
a really
Yeah, a combo or a block string filler.
yeah.
One of the two.
Yeah, and then B knuckle. As far as combo purposes, like you'll see it a lot in like
And specific Oki setups, right? Using laser.
yeah, or
But
like if they're aerial, like this is kind of more advanced, but like if you get like there's like if they're in the air, you can hit like 5B sweep B knuckles. Like this is a combo. This is actually optimal to do that usually, but yeah, it's a little bit more like situational and just being like, so there's more awareness that goes into that, but it just kind of say that you can do that as well. Yeah, and so that's chain
yeah,
knuckle. Oh, and I guess one more thing. Chain knuckle, at least SB chain is, if you're right in their face, it's actually slightly plus. I'm pretty sure. So like, I don't really, it's not something I do, but I guess you could try to like do, like, if you want to keep pressure or just try to do a frame trap or something. That is a thing as well. But otherwise, like A Knuckle is slightly, just ever slightly minus. It's like -1, I think, if you're right in their face. You want to double check me on that? But yeah.
All right, so let's talk about Guillotine, her overhead button.
Yeah, I'll switch to yours.
Okay, so Guillotine is her standing overhead. This is one of two apart from AoA. I'm put crouching. So all versions hit overhead. The SV comes out very fast. You can combo off of it because of the ground bounce. You can't really combo because of most of these you can't combo off of without help from Asterius. Asterius, uses. You would typically see something like this. Did it too fast?
Yeah.
You'd have Asterius cover you, or if Asterius isn't ready, you can also do like just 8C. SB is the only version where you can combo itself, or like combo without Asterius. And there's this button comes out really fast. It's a good button just to throw out to your opponent.
Yeah, and also it has a lot of horizontal range. So if you're setting up pressure in the corner and you keep some space, you can kind of do a mix up with it. And if you start to condition them like, oh, okay, they're going for the guillotine a lot, like then you kind of create this high-low mix-up from range between sweep and guillotine.
Yeah, it's solid overhead. You had to spend meter to combo it. But another thing that's really cool, you can combo into itself using SP.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
You can spend your entire bar for like solid damage.
Yeah.
So it's not the only thing. You can obviously do like this. You can have a lot of like it's a really cool thing to do.
Yeah. You do see SB Guillotine a lot, and I'm gonna switch to my screen for a sec. Like you'll see it a lot in like O and B combos actually. Like you'll see it a lot in O and B combos. So like, like this is actually like that. Like, so you see a lot in O and B combos, or just even like from a normal without the O and B. You can, if you just want to add a bit of damage, you can do. Oh, I did too early, but you can do it.
I think that was good.
Yeah. No, they had teched. There we go. You can do that. And like just throw a bit of extra damage into your combo. So usually like, after a 2C extension, or if they're like just in the air in general. Yeah. So yeah, so it does get you do get use in combos for that.
Yeah, just overall good overhead.
Yeah. And then aerial guillotine. So this is really like a key, linking portion of your combos. You've kind of shown it several times by now, but like, one of the first Gatly like BMBs you'll learn like is this, and you're ending it with that's a 2-1-4A. But usually usually something that's, I guess the A version comes out fastest. B version comes out slower. The A and the B version, they both by themselves just do the scram bouts, so you need Asterius to get a hard knockdown without any extra resources. The SB version knocks down on its own without Asterius, and this is like the key basic bite setup, right? Is that but another really important note about the A and B version, especially in corner combos. So if I do like this, right? Like there is my j.BB didn't come out. There is you have to keep track of how high above you the opponent is while you're doing a corner juggle, because if they're too high above you, J214B will whiff. So I'm gonna try to demonstrate that. So if I do like this, okay, so like here, J214B hits, but if I get it a little bit higher, there we go, like that. See, J214B will whiff. So in that situation, if they're a little bit too high above me, I have to use J214A, and that's really Like that, like I probably could have done 214B there, but like if I'm in doubt or I'm looking at their height, I'm like, they're a little high. Like I'm just gonna do 214A just to ensure that it doesn't whiff, because that does happen sometimes. So that's just something to keep in mind about them. So if you're trying to catch like a high hit, 214A is going to be a little bit more consistent. Um, and another important note too is that J214A area guillotine carries Shabrys' momentum. So if I do, let's see, if I do like this combo, this hop BNB, like she still travels forward a bit. Where if I do 214B, she kind of, she actually stops in place a bit. I think that can combo, but you have to be like closer because she stops more in place. And you'll see this prominently a lot. Like it's hard to replicate, but like
you like go in front of them, right?
Yeah,
like,
you'll
you
end
up
up
on the side.
Yeah, like you'll actually cross over them in the air, and you'll end up like landing with a sandwich situation. Like if you're ending with the 5C, where you actually end up on the opposite side. Yeah, so like that's just because of that momentum carry from 214A.
The other thing about J14B is, or yeah, what 214 J214A and B is that they ground bounce. That it's not good for Oki, so you would do the SB version, but there is something that we have been doing is the reverse knockdown. It is where
Yeah.
you air turn, where you air turn in the end, and you actually use the first hit of the falling button to. I think I do better on this side. You do like the first hit to get a hard knockdown.
Yeah, so you can kind of cheat.
Yeah.
It's not really cheat, but yeah, it's like a loophole where you can get a laser where you wouldn't be able to normally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is how we like get around the ground bounce that we don't want.
I will say like that specifically. I'm gonna switch back to my screen for a sec. Like yeah, so. This like is actually rather difficult to do. It's pretty executionally intensive. That took me like a year to be able to do consistently.
It does take a long time.
Yeah,
it's something you have to practice a lot.
Yeah, it's really easy to get a misinput in that whole sequence. But it is very strong if you can get it.
This is where I also think that macros help. Shab.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and like in that particular sequence here, I'm actually pressing the DP button.
I also have a DP macro. So
yeah.
Just keep that in mind if you have the space for it on a controller, especially a controller or stick, you may want to map out some of your macros.
Yeah, I guess, and for reference, I can show like this is the layout I use. I should have mentioned that at the beginning, right? Like, like for playing, I play on a PS4 controller. If like this is my button setup, right? Like I have my Persona buttons on the triggers, because like you need to be able to press like B and C at the same time, or A and D at the same time, or something. Like she has a lot of these really weird button combinations. So with the default on pad, like it's really hard to do that, I find. So I just have I have my base of action set to triangle, my DP is set to circle. So like that sequence we were just doing, I'm actually doing I'm pressing the DP macro in there to get a BD input, which does, and it has its own issues sometimes because like a lot of times on Shab, like I'll get accidental DPs because I'm trying to press like bull guard and neutral, but then I'll also press 5B and I get a DP on accident.
That does happen to me too, yeah.
Yeah,
actually.
Kind of like a Shab thing that would just happen. You're half the time on this character you're holding D, honestly, just because like of managing Asterius or protecting him. But yeah, that's just an important note. Like just have a button mapping that you can simultaneously press the character normals and persona normals, and this ends up being, even if you play other characters, this ends up being really useful. Like like Akihiko dive loops. This is really useful to have. Narukami, like the Narukami OMB, This is also really useful. So things like that. Like this is just like it just helps to be able to do that for sure. Yeah, so like she is a pretty executionally intensive character in that way. It's the thing. Um, yeah, and I think that's all of her moves finally, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we took a while on that.
Yeah, I did.
We are
But
at,
yet,
we are at the 2 hour mark. But we've also like have mixed in combos and like other tech and some matchup stuff like in that.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Do,
Honestly, that's just like it for the breakdown of the character. Thank you for all for like tuning in, being
yeah,
here.
I'll.
If you've taken breaks, if you come in and out, that's completely fine.
Yeah.
Uh,
Um.
we're
Cause
there's just a lot to this character. I
yeah,
think.
it might like we might even just do a series of these honestly, Killer Kitty. Like,
You think it's good? Yeah.
cause like I feel like this we've broken down all the moves and we've talked about like some. I guess if we want to spend a bit of time just. Because we haven't really like specifically broken down like combos and stuff. Like we've showcased some. We haven't really specifically shown like what combos to do.
Do you want to do that? Like, continue this another time?
Yeah, let's see. I'm seeing 5 people on stream because we're at the 2 hour mark.
Uh-huh.
So I would be fine like just making this a series, like a short series.
Yeah.
If you want to do that.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, so I would say for next time we can go into combos.
Yeah.
Like actual like just focusing like we know what the moves are, we know how they function, what the properties are.
Yeah, get to the good stuff.
Yeah, like really get combos
also,
and Oki setups.
Also, if you're still here, another thing, like the quality of these will progress. This is the first time we've done this. This was like kind of a new concept too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I appreciate everyone for being here and coming.
Yeah.
But,
if you were watching at all, thanks for coming, and I'll upload this and chapter it.
I think the problem is that with these type of things, it could take hours to explain everything, like literal hours.
Yeah.
Because this character is very complex.
Yeah, and that's
like, and like it'd be better to like space it out and not rush things.
Right. Yeah, because there's just a lot to go over with her. But I feel like even if like before whenever we get to the like a part 2 of this, I think even if you just like I'll chapter it out based on like the individual moves you talked about. And if you just like listen to it, like, and just kind of watch it, you'll see like, like you'll see some stuff and just kind of hopefully get to absorb some of it by watching with the commentary. So, but yeah, I guess we'll stop here. We're at the 2 hour mark. And I guess we're gonna have a part 2 then, maybe possibly even part 3. We'll see.
Oh yeah, I already have an idea.
Sure, yeah. Alright, well, thanks Nightwolf for being here. But yeah, I guess we'll stop there. Any last things you want to add for now, Kill Kitty?
No, thank you everyone for coming. Please enjoy and hopefully join us for the next installments of the Shab Bootcamp.
Yeah. Sweet.
This will improve as we go on.
Yeah, this is a work, kind of a learning as doing type thing as well. So yeah, hopefully, this is useful, and we'll see people again soon, hopefully.
Alright.
Alrighty.
Thank you everyone for joining.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself.
Yep. Everyone have a good night. Stay warm in the winter. Alrighty. We'll go ahead and log it out.
Peace. Are you still streaming?
I'm gonna stop it right now.